morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you've reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy, and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is Sunday, May 14th. It's my FlossTube number 190, and it is Mother's Day. So welcome to the channel. If this is the first time finding it, I hope that you like what you see. Want to hit like and subscribe, all that good stuff. If this is not your first time finding the channel, if you are one of my regular viewers, thank you so much for coming here and spending this time with me. It means so much, and hopefully you guys know how much your support and your communication with me and everything means, because hopefully I make that clear, because it does. It means a lot to me. So yeah, today is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of the moms out there, and stepmoms and fur moms, and anybody who's got a motherly spirit, anybody who takes care of anybody else or anything else, then happy Mother's Day to you. Those of you who've been watching me a while know that I lost my mom at the beginning of 2021. So this is my third Mother's Day without her, and it's not getting a lot easier, I gotta say. I don't think that is anything unusual. Every time I mention that I still miss my mom or whatever, I get a lot of comments that yes, I lost my mom 20 years ago and it still hurts, and so it's not something that really goes away. Hold on just a second. I want to I feel like I have a big fingerprint. I do. I have a big fingerprint right in the middle of the new glasses. How did that happen? And it was making me feel like it's something on my eye, but it was on the glasses, not my eye. So yeah, so missing people doesn't really get much better. So yeah, I kind of, how like you have that feeling inside you, something's coming up, and it's sometimes hard. So I've had that sort of slight anxiety and stuff with the idea of Mother's Day coming up. Also, for those of you who watch, that my family is going to be moving. My only family that I have left anywhere near me, my brother, my sister-in-law, and my niece and two nephews, they're going to be moving next week, next Tuesday, not Tuesday in 2 days, but next Tuesday. They're going to be moving to Michigan, to far, far away. I live in California, and they decided that they needed to leave California, mostly for financial reasons. California is ridiculously expensive. And they picked Michigan for lots of reasons. No, they don't have any family there, but they're on a family adventure, and that's great. And I don't know, I may be following, eventually. I hope eventually that I will be close to people again. I feel a little bit isolated right now. And so that's all kinds of stuff that I'm dealing with, but it's all good. I will survive. I'm a survivor. I've been through a lot of stuff, and we will keep going. And having you guys in my life does help, I gotta say. So anyway, that was a long way to say Happy Mother's Day. And I'm not, really celebrating. I kind of am planning to kind of be a little bit hibernated today and just kind of put on the TV and get stuck into my crafting and just kind of try and turn my head off, because that anxiety film has been playing for the last couple of weeks, actually, and I just need to kind of turn it off. My best friend texted me yesterday. She said she'll be home after 4 o'clock her time, if I want to chat, and I may not. I don't know. She actually lost her mother too a couple years before me, so she's probably going through it as well. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to need to get on the phone, or if I just really need to be stuck into my feelings for a while. But anyway, for those of you who do watch me regularly, you're probably aware last weekend I did not post a video. I can't say I didn't film a video, because I did. I actually had a video that I was actually kind of excited about posting, because I had a lot of stuff done last week. And I put Gigi back up, and there's just a lot of stuff to show you guys. And I did this whole video. It was like an hour and 10 minutes. I mean, it was a longer video, and I went to go upload it, and I realized that there was no sound, and found out through that my phone, that component of my phone, the recording microphone, just was gone. And it was kind of a pain. My phone in all other aspects was working fine. If it had been any other time of my life, I probably would have just went, okay, I guess I can't do recordings right now, and I just would have continued with my other phone, because as I said, everything else was fine. But seeing that I do a weekly FlossTube video, and that is an important part of my life, I couldn't not have a recording device on my phone. So I ended up having to get a new phone. I was due for an upgrade, so it wasn't as much of a hardship as it could have been, but it was still kind of a pain. And I got the phone, and then of course had to do all the stuff to get all the data transferred over, you know. It was a thing. I ended up redoing the video. I was so hoping when I transferred that somehow the video would have sound magically, but no, it didn't. It just didn't record with any sound. So I had to redo the video, and I posted it on Wednesday. But of course, because it was not my normal day, it's, you know, been slow to have views. So if you haven't seen it, if you come on Sunday nights or Mondays or wherever to see my video and you just missed it last week and didn't realize there was another one, there is another one, so you can go back and watch the one from Wednesday. So that was part of my week, which caused some challenges, some more, you know, stress, anxiety, all that good stuff. But you know, we dealt with it. Speaking of my video not, you know, popping as much as sometimes they do because it was on a different day, I'm curious if any of you who watch are also FlossTubers or YouTubers of any other kind. Is YouTube like doing some kind of one of those subscriber like purges again? Because I don't know what it is, but the last several weeks, I just can't, you know, my subscriber will go up and then fall down, and go up and fall down, and go up and fall down. And it's like, I've never had so many people that are like leaving my channel at one time. I mean, it's not a huge amount. We're talking about between 8 and 10, a fluctuation of between 8 and 10, but I can't get past this one number, and I think, oh, okay, I got there. I dribbled back up to 8 more, and then it'll fall down by another 3. And like, what the heck is going on? So I think sometimes when that happens, it's because YouTube's doing some kind of a purge, and people who maybe are subscribed to your channel but then never watch or whatever, that they somehow get purged. I don't know. If any of you guys have insight to that, let me know, because it's like, you know, in the long run of life, it doesn't really matter, but in my daily, like, what's going on with my channel, it's like something that I pay attention to, and it's like frustrating me. It's like I've been excited to grow the channel, and I feel like I'm at this like point where it doesn't seem like no matter what I do, nothing is moving, except sometimes in the wrong direction. So I don't know what it is, but if you have any insight, let me know. Okay, I always do Southern California weather report kind of thing. I think you guys can tell probably from, you know, I realize that I do my videos on a Sunday morning, and you guys can kind of tell what it looks like outside based on the light that's coming in through that window. So when I do one in the afternoon or at night, you can tell that because of the light. It is super, super gray, overcast right now. It's early still. It's like, well, it's not that early. It's 9 o'clock. And yeah, it's great. Our weather has been kind of high 70s, touching into the kind of low 80s. So, you know, it's getting a little bit warmer, but we are definitely in that period where we're getting the June gloom, that it just is overcast and really, I don't know how to describe it when it's gray like this. It's not like gray like on a rainy day. It's just like gloomy gray. And it's like that in the mornings. That's why they call it June gloom, I guess. It's like that in the mornings, and it burns off usually around 11 or 12. But that's what it's like right now. It's really, really overcast and not pretty outside right now. Okay. Oh, the other thing that did happen on Sunday after my video didn't work was I had a Zoom Stitchy meetup, which went off without a hitch. I was really happy about that. I had a smaller group of people than I usually do, which I really expected because I had just announced that I was even going to do one just a week before that. So there was like maybe 6 people instead of 12 people usually, but I did use the new PC rather than trying to do it on a Chromebook, which does not work. And I didn't have any problems with the Zoom. So hopefully that problem has been solved, and Zooms going forward will be just fine. And on that note, the next Zoom that I have scheduled is Saturday, May 27th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So I also would like to know with you guys, I know that there's certain people, you know, like because of where you live or because of your lifestyle or whatever, when I do them on a Sunday or Sunday afternoon, you can't join. What times would you love to have a Zoom? I am not 100% opposed to having a Zoom like a weeknight. However, you know, I do live in California. I don't get off work until 5, so I would never be able to start a Zoom in the afternoon until, or in the evening until 6 o'clock Pacific time during the week. So, you know, how do you guys feel about that? Should I incorporate that every so often into my schedule? You know, I would like to make my Zooms accessible to a wide variety of people. I like doing them on, you know, Saturday evening or Sunday afternoon. That's a good time for me, but I also don't want to miss out on seeing people that are never going to be able to join at that time. So, you know, I'm totally open to sticking some in another time. I'm going to have to see with my brother, because once they move, we have kind of 2 games that are set up to D&D games. We have a family one that we have all done in person for the most part, although occasionally when somebody's been sick or whatever, we've done it over the phone or over Zoom. And then there's one that I actually joined his game he has with a couple colleagues, and that was like on Thursday nights. But of course, when he moves, they're going to have to move it to the weekend. So, so my weekends are probably going to start getting taken up with these games too. So, I don't know exactly what's going to happen yet, and that's not going to really happen until June. Or actually July probably. Yeah, or end of June, mid-July, which the end of June is my FlossTube anniversary. It will be 4 years on FlossTube that I'm coming up on. But anyway, so let me know if you have preferences or suggestions about other times for the Zooms and stuff. Okay, so it's time to get on to showing you stuff. I feel kind of bad. Last week I was so prolific in my stitching and crafting. I mean, I did like everything last week. I did my little golden book journals, and I did a lot of crocheting, and I did a lot of stitching, and I had so much stuff to show you. And I feel like this week I just don't have as much. You know, I had the issue with my phone that I had to, you know, take care of that, and just my mental state. I was like really tired this past week. I don't know what it is. I had a couple nights where I was watching TV and really started falling asleep, you know, early. So I don't know what it is, but I just don't feel like I worked or I got as much stuff done this past week to show you, but you know, that's how it is. I think I'm going to start with the crochet this week because I don't really have anything exciting to show you. You know, there's no finishes, there's nothing that looks like, you know, anything exciting yet, although I will, you know, point out my mermaid again. I did debut her last week. Oh, and I also probably learning, right? I figured out how to actually put my own thumbnail on the video. For those of you who don't do YouTube videos, when you do a YouTube video and you upload it, you get an option of 3 different thumbnails. And I know there's people who think that, because I thought this too when I first started, that like if you held still, like it had to do with how long you hold still in a certain position. I don't think that that's what it is. I think that YouTube captures videos based on how long your video is, and then there's a certain time, like the very center of your video, and then however many seconds before or after, something like that. I think that's how the 3 get captured. And sometimes you get like a perfect screenshot, you know, with a smile on your face and you're holding your work or whatever it is. Sometimes you get a perfect one. But sometimes you get 3 where you look like a goofball, and that happens to me a lot. So that happened last week where they were fine, but you know, I had all these really nice projects to show and I wanted one of them to be in the thumbnail and it just wasn't. And so I'm like, I figured out, I taught myself how to do a screen capture. I did a screen capture from the video. I know lots of people just take a thumbnail photo, but I just did a screen capture from the video where I was holding my mermaid. So that was good. I think I taught myself how to add a specified thumbnail, which, you know, after 4 years is a good thing to learn a new skill with my videos. But anyway, so I finished her week before last, and I showed her on my video. She's a curvy mermaid by Crafty Intentions. Megan Lapp is the designer, but the company's called Crafty Intentions. And I did finish her, and you know, she's not perfect, and that is just fine. I realized that I colored my hair yesterday, and then I put it in this spirally thing, and then when I was looking in the viewfinder this morning, I'm like, I look kind of like my mermaid. Hopefully I don't have a fish face like she does, but I'm curvy like she is, which is another thing. I've been watching a lot of like body positivity things and stuff, and I'm trying to just accept the me that I am. And so, you know, I've worn this dress before on camera, and I just really like this. It's a nice summer dress. But you know, I'm always concerned that I have fat arms now, you know, and so I thought about putting a sweater on, and I'm like, you know what? I have fat arms, and nobody's going to be offended by my fat arms, I don't think. And if they are, then they're not welcome anyway. So anyway, so I just thought I'd show that to you, her to you again. I mean, she wasn't finished this past week, but last week, but still, she's pretty exciting. But as I said, I didn't really do anything too exciting in the crochet world this past week. I started a new amigurumi, which I kind of want to show you, but I don't want to talk about it too much because it is a gift. So I don't know. I'm going to have to decide whether it's okay to show this or not. Woo! Very exciting. This is the top of a head of an amigurumi. So yeah, so I know that that is not very exciting to look at, but it was exciting for me to start, and I'm excited actually to do that project. So I showed last week I started a baby dragon. Where's his head? All right, I started a newborn dragon the week before, and his head is missing somewhere in here. I'm gonna have to find it. I was gonna show it to you again, but anyway. And then, as I said, I did a game this week on Roll20 with my brother and his work colleagues and Logan, and I found it works better for me with my internet connection and everything if I don't have my little picture, you know, there. So I have, you know, it's a static picture of Baggy instead of a moving picture of me, and I just have the voice on and not the video. But that also means that I can, you know, don't have to be dressed properly. But anyway, while I'm doing that, because it is online and like in between my turn and stuff like that, I was able to crochet on my shrug, which is, you know, getting bigger and really pretty. I am really, really happy with how this is looking. I love this yarn. And I think this is great. So I started the second skein. I have 3 skeins of this, and as I said, I think 3 is going to be enough. But if it isn't, then I will go ahead and get a 4th, because I want to make sure if I'm doing all this work to make a garment, I want it to make sure it fits. Yeah. I just got a notification that my watch is fully charged. Yay. But this is the yarn. It's a Karen Simply Soft. Simply Soft Paints, and this is in the color Oceana. And I just really like it. And it's going to make a really nice garment. So, as I've said before, I'm not like necessarily super into the idea of making clothing. But I really like this idea of a shrug because I think it is something that I will use and wear. And so, yeah, I'm excited about that. So that's really all I worked on as far as crochet goes this past week. So nothing exciting, but still enjoying it quite a bit. Okay, so then on to my stitching whips. I guess I have a finish to show you this week. I kind of was thinking like, no, it's not finished, but the stitching's finished. I haven't finished the assembly, so I haven't fully finished it, but I finished the stitching on my Lion Biscornu. Ta-da! Which I started in August for my birthday. Lion, Leo the Lion start that I do every August. So I did finish the stitching on it, and I cut it apart, and I just have to put it together, do the whip stitching, which I think I'm going to do today. So here's the front, and here's the back, which has a couple like pretty glaring errors that I just got to the point where I did not care. I was like, get it done. I don't care. So yeah. So hopefully, if I'm so inclined today, I will get that actually finished, fully finished, and be able to have my very first Biscornu. So I started that with my friend Dawn Duval. Neither one of us had ever done a Biscornu, so we decided to do one and make a hashtag Biscornu beginner. I haven't posted. I'm really terrible at posting to Instagram, you guys, so it's just not my preferred thing to do. I look at it every day, but I just am terrible about posting. So Dawn finished hers weeks and weeks ago. But anyway, so, but I did get, a stitching finish. I think I can mark that off on my thing, and, that counts, right? So actually I was kind of excited about that I got that done, because that's been hanging around for far too long. Okay, so other whips that I worked on this week, as I said, I had a Zoom. So typically when I'm doing a Zoom, I pull out my counted canvas. I kind of have been saving counted canvas for the Zoom meetings, because again, when I'm doing something on the computer, I want to work on something that I can wear my regular, normal reading magnification glasses, and not the higher magnification glasses that I use when I'm stitching. And I can do counted canvas with the regular glasses, and I can do crochet with the regular glasses. So, I got a little bit further on this. This is a Country Garden. Of course, I didn't write it down. I think it's called Country Garden Counted Canvas from Nancy's Needles. It's part of the quilt series, and I basically just did the outline part right here, and then I started doing some of the centers, the purple centers. And let's see, like, where do I have the actual picture what this is going to look like? I changed some of the colors on this. Primarily the background is way different because it has this sort of like, I don't know what they call it, beaver gray or something gray that I just was like not 100% thrilled with. So I went with this sort of pink, soft pink color instead. And then my multicolored watercolor is this is called Ethiopia, the purple, red, orange, and the one I'm using is called Peach Melba. It has a little bit more yellow, I think, in it, is the main difference. So what I have finished is just this inner part. So next I have to do all of this green and more of the background color, and then, you know, we'll get into the outside border with the colored flowers again. Now the pretty sparkly purple, and now I wish I had saved the piece, but the pretty sparkly purple is a Gold Rush. I've talked about this before. It is really pretty on your project. However, it is sometimes kind of really annoying. I don't want to say difficult to work with, but it's more like annoying to work with. I mean, granted, it is gorgeous. It is sparkly. You can even see the sparkle in, you know, the video, which never is as good as, you know, real life. But it is one of those chained products that, or chained fibers that if you are not careful, it can unravel and then become ugly and unusable, basically. So you have to be careful. And once it starts, you kind of have to cut it off and get it, because if you have that unraveled part, it'll just unravel the entire thing. And so that happened. I unraveled, you know, a big significant, and it's expensive. So you don't want to do that on top of that because it's expensive. So yeah, it's, you know, every time I work with it and I don't have a problem, I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. And why was I mad at this fiber before? Because it's just so pretty and it looks so great. And then I have a session where it keeps unraveling on me and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why, because it unravels and it's annoying as all get out when it does that. I'm trying to see if I have any sitting on my desk to show you, but I don't. Okay, but anyway, yeah, so I had that unraveling issue this weekend, or last weekend when I was stitching, and it was annoying. Okay, let's see, what else did I work on this week? I worked on the Cardinal for my friend Tracy. I am doing a series of birds for her, with, you know, really no end in sight. I think I'll just keep making them until she's like, you know, I think I've had enough. And it's kind of fun. She always knows that there's something that's coming towards her, coming her way eventually. I have 3 booklets in there, and of course I pulled the wrong 2 first. Oops, my mermaid just fell over. Okay. So I am doing the Cardinal for her this time. I did chickadees, which are not on this. The first one I did a Crosswing Collection chickadees, and then the last one I did is the Blue Jay, which is this one that you can barely see. But this time it's Cardinal. I think next time I might do a hummingbird. But I got quite a bit done. Like the whole bottom of the bird is kind of in place. So it's pretty cute. I found that the 2 patterns so far that I've worked on from this booklet are much more simplistic than like the Crosswing Collection that I did first. And I'm not necessarily sure that that's a great thing. So as I said, the next thing I want to do probably is a hummingbird, and I do have a Crosswing Collection hummingbird booklet. So I'll have to talk to her because she really likes to get birds that actually she can see in her backyard. So we'll have to go through and see if any of these are varieties that are native to Pittsburgh, where she lives. And another book I have is this one. These are definitely more elaborate birds. Backyard favorites. This one has purple finch, northern Baltimore oriole, blue jay, and that one's one of these ones where it's ridiculous. Blue jay, which I'm not going to do blue jay because I did a blue jay already for her, and a northern mockingbird. So if she wants one of these, I can do it, but they're going to take a lot longer than the less intense ones that I have worked on last couple times. She also got a chipmunk from me and Stacy. But she really likes the sort of naturalistic, real looking birds and stuff. So it's kind of good because it's not something that I really choose for myself to stitch, but I like them enough so that I enjoy stitching. Those of you, you know, well, my personal rule is like, I can't choose to stitch something as a gift for somebody that I don't personally like because I won't want to stitch on it. So that's something that I kind of have to balance, because if I decide like, oh, this person likes this subject and let me stitch that, I'm going to hate it the whole time. So the naturalistic birds are not something that I necessarily would choose to stitch for myself, but I enjoy it enough that it is not a hardship to stitch them for her. And then, you know, I know that she's getting something that she really likes, and that makes me feel good too. So, okay. I worked on kitty litter this week, which is my gold collection, my second actually gold collection project that I'm working on, Dimensions. And I looked at this for so long and I really loved it. And I started it, I think I started this right at the beginning of the year or right at the end of last year. But it is definitely an adorable pattern. It is Dimensions Gold, so there's like weirdnesses in this. And this pattern, you know, I was talking to Jen, Backcountry Stitcher, because she stitched this. She's a veterinarian dental surgeon. I don't know if I said that all right, but she stitched this and they have it actually hanging in her clinic that she works at. And she says it's gorgeous when it's done, which is very encouraging. But we were talking about it and like, this pattern is freaking weird. Okay, you've got a basket of kittens, which is fine. Then you've got these things behind the kittens that we really don't know what they are. I don't know if they're like pieces of knitting. To me, they look like bath loofahs. Bath loofahs are coral. But I don't think that kitties would be like laying near coral because that wouldn't be comfortable. So I'm thinking they're bath loofahs. It's got a butterflies. That's not so weird. It's got marbles. Like why are there marbles all over the table? And it's got a stalk of wheat. Again, why is there a stalk of wheat? Who knows? But it's just the kitties are adorable. So I worked on that this week. And I'm just doing this with all the kit stuff. And I finished this kitty face like last time I was stitching on it. So this is a gray kitty that is next to it. There's like a gray one right here and then a brown one right here. So I was working on this gray kitty and then I worked up in here a little bit. And yeah, I noticed like when I did this orange kitty that, you know, it was a lot of like, okay, here's all these colors, all these colors, all these colors, and all of a sudden kitty face. And then especially like when you add some of the back stitching. So I'm probably going to be doing that as I go along, which is why there's a hanging thread here, because I don't want to cut it off since I'm going to be back stitching, because I want the kitty's faces to show as I go along. My stomach clock just went off. I did not eat breakfast before I did this, and I am feeling that. Oh. Okay. Next thing I worked on yesterday, I did Let Sleeping Dragons Lie, which is a artwork by Amy Brown, but this is charted by Unconventional Cross Stitch. So this chart, I had promised myself I was not going to get any more full coverage, or really any full coverage patterns that were like full size, because it just is going to take too long to do, and I don't work on them enough, and I didn't want a project that was going to take 20 years. But this is actually 650 by 459. So that resolution went right out the window. I saw this and, you know, I didn't get it because, again, it's full size. But then I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I figured if it was in my head that much, that I should just go ahead and get it. And, you know, rule be damned, and just not get any more. Why does that seem like there's a... Okay. That is so weird. When the light comes through, there's a place it looks like the stitches are missed, but they're not. They're there. That must just be... You know what? I think it's like there's one little place where it's like thin in the back. Okay, sorry. So I finished a diagonal, and then I actually went and did it like another 6 rows, 50 or 60 stitches. But this, I was only like to about here. So I did the whole diagonal almost yesterday. Took a long time. I was stitching, and then I was getting up and doing chores, and then I was stitching, and then I was, you know, all the stuff that I was doing. So I had this going all day, but, you know, not solid. But it is just amazing how long it takes to do full coverage. So I am excited to get to something else, something other than green. I think I'm going to hit a little bit of her dress first. And I don't know when. Maybe in 2 more diagonals, I'll hit a little bit of blue. I thought I had hit something else yesterday. And this is like a bone I have to pick with designers or whoever's charting things, because let's get real. Okay, so I'm going to show you the way I have my thing set up. I copy and then, you know, put them on sticker paper and put the little symbols. And I'm going to try and see if you can see. So there was a symbol that was like a check mark. And so I thought, oh, it's this black. And can you see? Can you see that check mark? With the camera, yeah, okay. So check mark. So I stitched with that black, and I'm like, there's one little stitch of black out here in the wilderness. And is that, you know, I looked on the picture, and I'm like, is that this area that's coming to start being outlined? You know, and then I was going through getting another color for something else, or not for something else. I was continuing on, and I had to get another color, and I was going through my thing, and I realized that it was this check mark. Now, there is a very subtle difference. One is like an Arial check mark, and the other one is like an italic check mark. I mean, seriously, that's the difference. And they're so like similar. It's like the difference between that and that. And I mean, really, you know, pattern creators, you're going to make symbols, 2 symbols on the same project that are that close. That's ridiculous. So yeah, I was kind of annoyed with that. So of course I'd only done 1 stitch. So I took out the black and replaced it with the correct color. But I hate it when they, you know, of all the symbols and, you know, there's so many symbols that are out there that they do not have to use things that are so similar. I realize there's 90, but you know what? They could use 9 numbers. There's 26 letters in the alphabet, and you can do capital and you could do small. If you did it that way, you would have 50 or 60, you know, close to 50 or 60 if you cut out like I's and L's and things that are hard to, you know, distinguish. You could have 50 or 60 symbols right there, and they don't ever do that. They have to, you know, have a small dot and then a slightly bigger dot, you know, or two different check marks that look almost identical, but one is italic. Very, very frustrating. Okay, rant over. The last thing I worked on this week was my Laurel Birch cat collage by Designworks. And it's funny, this is pretty much full coverage and I stitch it completely differently. I tend to kind of like do outlines with the black and then go in and fill in each cat. But this cat is new. And then this guy's face, I think, actually no, it was the whiskers and the, I almost said mustache, but they do look like they have mustaches. But anyway, so that part, the outlining and all that is new. And then this whole cat was, he's not actually completed, but filled in mostly. Oops. So this is, it's very fun to work on, and these cats are just so weird that they're just so weird and quirky. I'm off, so I'll get to places and it's like, well, there's supposed to be three spaces remaining and there's not, there's two. So I'm having that issue and I'm just not worrying about it. They're so quirky, it doesn't, in my head, really matter. That's fun to work on, actually. And I did put a grime guard around it because I realized my fabric was getting pretty soiled because it's, you know, in this thing and I'm not moving it. So, yeah. That was basically it this week for stitching. I feel like I didn't do as much as I normally do. I don't know. I may be just being hard on myself, but it is what it is, right? You know, I do what I can and I do it for my pleasure and for sharing with you guys. But anyway, haul, I didn't really get anything this week crafty wise, except I got some more glasses. I don't have to wear glasses like to see far. Like I don't need them for seeing TV. I don't need them for driving. I don't need them for when I'm talking to somebody across the room in the office. I have to take them off. But for doing anything close, it's like the age thing. I have to wear glasses for reading, for handiwork, for anything. And I wear like a 2 or 2.5. My very first video that I did, if you go back and see that first one, I wasn't wearing glasses in it. And what happened was I made a whole page of notes and I couldn't see them. So from then on, I started wearing my glasses. Like, I don't need my glasses to talk to you guys, although I really can't see the my camera because I use, you know, the front-facing camera. And it bothers me now to not be able to see that. Because to look at this blurry thing, although I know there's people who do videos, you know, they don't have the camera where they can see themselves at all. So, but that's just something I'm used to now after 4 years, right? So anyway, I have to wear glasses, and so I wear them in every video, and I like to have a huge variety of styles and colors and stuff like that. I mean, it's like just a way for me to be able to be creative, right? And I get very inexpensive glasses, which also is great because I don't care them if I break them or lose them, or when they get to where they are really scratched up, I'll just throw them away, because I'm paying like $2-3 a pair. And the last two sets that I got, I realized when I've worn them on my video, they have that blue light blocking, and it's already hard to not have glare in your glasses, but the blue light blocking ones are terrible. And so even though they're both cute styles, I got round ones and I got like really square ones that are different than anything else I had, because they were the blue light blocking. They're really not good for my videos. So I'm using those more for, like, I took some to work, and you know, I don't really want to use them for my videos. The other thing that happens is that because I have glasses everywhere. I have some in my kitchen. I have some, actually some in my bathroom, and I have them everywhere, right? Because whenever I'm sitting there, I want to be able to just stick my hand out and find a pair of glasses. And because I do that, and because of my whole stitching setup, I end up like dropping them. And, you know, when I do a cleanup, then I'll get a whole pile of them, but they start disappearing, right? Where I can't find, I only have one pair instead of the 20 that I should have. Or like I can't find any of the regular glasses that I use, and all I have is a big pile of stitching ones, which I don't want to use for regular seeing because they tend to make me feel a little bit seasick, right? They're too strong. Anyway, so I went and I got a couple more sets of regular reading glasses so that I can change colors and be an interesting visual picture for you guys to see. So I got this shape, and I got, I don't know if there's 4 or 5 pairs that they're kind of like two-tone, where the bottom is like one color and the top is another color. I have this really cool green and peach one, so I'll have to try those out. You know, it's funny when I'm looking at my videos back, it's like, ooh, I like those glasses, or I feel like those glasses looked good. Oh, here's another like yellow and green. I'll try those. See, this is a pair of the ones that I got that are too blue lighty, and see, even holding them. And so it's kind of cool to have like that Harry Potter look, but yeah, they're too reflective. So they're not good for making my videos. But these 2 sets that I got are not. It specifically did not say blue light, so, or blue light blocking. So I avoided any ones that did say blue light blocking. Then I got a set that are, you know, typical reading glass shape, but some pretty colors. So yeah, because I just tend to like wearing all the different colors and seeing like, what mood am I in today? So that is all I got this week. As far as, I also got a bag of circus animal cookies. So these, because I was having a craving. And then I opened them and they're not as wonderful as I remember them being when I was a kid, but you know, such is life. Anyway, that is it for this week. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope that you're having a wonderful Mother's Day if you celebrate that. I know I was invited to go to a brunch with Aaron and Stacy and Stacy's mom, and I just, you know, I felt like I didn't really want to horn in on their Mother's Day celebration. And I know her mom is going through the same hard time that I'm going through as far as, you know, them moving. So I will be going to dinner next Monday on the 22nd. And then they're hitting the road the next day. So, yeah, that's going to be the last time that I see them for a while. Although my brother did say that he was coming back to California in September for some work thing. So hopefully we'll be able to get together and spend some time. And we are going to have to hit the airwaves, and we will have to be Zooming. So hopefully we will be able to have some family game nights and stuff. I mean, I know I will be playing D&D with Aaron and Logan and Reagan. Hopefully Stacy and I can do some Zooming together. She's gonna be starting a new job, so she might be a little bit stressed with that. But the kids are gonna be off school for a while, so hopefully we can have some like family game nights and some time where I can spend a little bit of quality, you know, Zoom time with Stacy and Hudson too. Because I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss my Hudson. He's so cute, and he's such a vibrant and exciting kid, and he just comes up with the best stuff. So I guess they're gonna have to be really extra diligent about sending me, you know, Hudson videos and Reagan videos and Logan videos, even though he doesn't like to do that. But hopefully they will miss me enough to want to spend some phone and Zoom time with me. It's hard. They're getting to be teenagers, and you know, I don't think that an aunt who lives far away is going to be that exciting for them. But anyway, I hope you have a great day and a great week until I see you again. And then until I see you again next week, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.